What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. We're going to continue with the middleweights. An outstanding middleweight fighter. He was a middleweight champion, William Gorilla Jones. Let's take a look at his career. Now, William Gorilla Jones was born May 12, 1906, Memphis, Tennessee. His nationality was American Negro. He weighed 158 pounds and stood 5 feet 6 inches. He was managed by Suey Welch. He had his first fight in 1924 against Sonny Jim Williams, and he lost in 4 rounds. But in 1928, William Gorilla Jones started in January 27th, and that's when his career took off. He had a fight with George Moore in Arkin, KO 5, February 23rd, Black Fitzsimmons, Barton, KO'd in 3. March 1st, Sailor Maxwell, Caton, KO'd in 4. March 29th, KO Kelly, Arkin, he defeated him in 10 rounds. April 10, Joe Feldman, Cleveland, Ohio, KO'd him in 1. April 27th, Ben Spively, KO'd him in 4. May 4th, Alvin Spence, Cleveland, Ohio, KO'd him in 1. May 17th, Young Sailor, no decision in 10 rounds. May 29th, Alan Biddy, KO in 10. June 1st, Bobby Brown, Cleveland, Ohio, lost in 10 rounds. June 18th, Mickey Fedor, KO'd him in 5 rounds. July 18th, Jim Williams, Arkin, KO'd in 3 rounds. July 25th, another fight with Bobby Brown, Cleveland, Ohio, KO'd him in 3 rounds. Bobby Brown was an outstanding fighter. I have him in one of my other bios, but I also have him in my African American Police Gazette scrapbook, a full page. I'll show you him probably next week. August 29th, Sammy Baker, Cleveland, Ohio. No decision in 10 rounds. They call him the Cleveland Baker Boy. September 13th, Tommy Freeman, he would be champion in Cleveland, Ohio. No decision, 10 rounds. October 2nd, Billy Leonard, Arkin, KO in 1 round. October 11th, Heavy Andrews, defeated him in 10 rounds. October 25th, Bucky Lawless, defeated him in 10 rounds. November 2nd, Jimmy Finley, defeated him in 10 rounds. November 16th, Powell Silvers, they used to call him Hi-Ho Silver, New York City, defeated him in 8 rounds. 1929, he had 2 more fights in 28. But 1929, January 8th, Arturo Shackles, Cleveland, Ohio, KO'd him in 1. January 14th, Arturo Shackles again, Buffalo, New York, defeated him in 10 rounds. February 18th, Bucky Lawless, Buffalo, defeated him, he lost in 10 rounds. April 9th, Tommy Freeman, Cleveland, Ohio, 12-round draw. May 3rd, Al Milo, very good fighter, New York City, defeated him in 10 rounds. May 17th, Izzy Grove, New York City, KO'd him in 6 rounds. June 3rd, Alamillo, again, Boston, KO'd him in 6 rounds. June 25th, Jack McVeigh, outstanding middleweight African-American fighter from Boston, defeated him in 10 rounds. July 16th, Bucky Lawless, another good fighter, Cleveland, lost in 12 rounds. August 12th, Pete Myers, San Francisco, KO'd him in 5 rounds. August 20th, Dummy Hainan, Los Angeles, KO'd him in 6 rounds. And this goes on. October 21st, Jackie Fields would be champion, San Francisco, lost in 10 rounds. Jackie Fields would be the welterweight champion. Then Young Corbett III took the title from him. Jim McLaurin took it from him. Barney Ross took it from him, and Henry Armstrong took it from him. Then Lou Ambers and Lou Jenkins. December 4th, Nick Testo, Arkins, KO 6 rounds. December 13th, Jackie Fields, Boston, no contest, 7 rounds. I'm going to show you Jack McVeigh. Now, I just wanted to show you Jack McVeigh. Jack McVeigh was an outstanding middleweight. He fought them all. Now, when I pull out my contenders scrapbook, I'm going to name all the champions they fought, because you're hearing their names all the times and the champions, but you don't see what they look like. So I'm going to show you the contenders scrapbook and then tell you the champions they fought. So this is Jack McVeigh. This is my African American scrapbook. I have 20 of them of just posing. Just to show you real quick, this is Bruce Flowers. He's an outstanding lightweight. New Rochelle, Yonkers, New York, standing next to Jack McVeigh. Jack Warren, outstanding heavyweight. So I'll pull that book out sometime next week to show y'all. So I just wanted to let you know what Jack McVeigh looked like, because you hear about him a lot of the fighters that I showed you so far. Let's get back to Gorilla Jones. Alright, so we talked about Jack McVeigh, Bucky Lawless. So August 12th, Pete Myers, San Francisco, killed him in 5 rounds. And this went on. So we talked about Jackie Fields, 1930. Floyd Herbert, killed him in 3 rounds. January 27th, Izzy Grove, New York City, killed him in 6 rounds. February 7th, Eddie Roberts, very good fighter. I'll show you his profile probably next week as well. San Francisco, 10-round draw. February 14th, Wesley Ketchel, San Francisco. He got a 10-round victory over him. March 14th, Myers Grace, Arkins, KO4. March 17th, Jock Malone, very good fighter, St. Paul. No decision in 10 rounds. I'll be going through his career as well. May 12th, Bucky Lawless, 10-round loss. April 22nd, Roy Tiger Williams, very good fighter. I'll show you him as well. Dayton, lost in 12. June 2nd, Henry Goldberg, Springfields, defeated him in 10 rounds. October 23rd, Harry Smith, outstanding. In fact, you know what? These are all outstanding African American fighters. I'll bring that book out. I think I'll bring it out next week. You'll be fascinated when I show you that book. New York City, lost in 10 rounds. November 10th. Wow, that was a good fight. Abe Litchison, I didn't even realize he fought him. That was in Rochester. Defeated him in 10 rounds. Outstanding victory. That was a very good fighter. November 28th, Jackie Brady. Jackie Brady was a good fighter. He lost him in 10 rounds. 1931, January 13th, Johnny Burns, Oakland, California, KO'd him in 7 rounds. And this goes on and on and on. August 25th, Tiger Thomas, Milwaukee. He defeated him in 10 rounds. And he won a vacant NBA middleweight title when defeated Tiger Thompson. August 25th, 1931. November 3rd, George Nichols, Milwaukee, defeated him in 10 rounds. December 11th, Henry Firpo, Milwaukee, defeated him in 10 rounds. 1932, January 25th, Odon Piazza, Milwaukee, killed him in 6 rounds. NBA middleweight title. That was a title defense. Now, Frankie O'Brien, March 14th, lost in 4. Jones was disqualified for not trying. April 26th, Young Terry, from Trenton, New Jersey. Outstanding fighter. I have his profile as well. Defeated him in 12 rounds. That was a title bout. June 11th, Marcel Theo, he would be champion. Paris, lost in a foul in 11, lost the NBA middleweight title. So Marcel Theo took the title away from Gorilla Jones because of a foul. This continues August 29th, Kid Leonard, Davenport, Iowa. He defeated him in 10 rounds. His next loss, December 8th, Roscoe Manning Patterson, New Jersey, lost in 10 rounds. Tommy Freeman, December 26th, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 10-round draw. 1933, January 13th, Young Sturtley, Clinton, KO 4 rounds. January 30th, Sammy Slaughter, Cleveland, Ohio, KO'd him in 7 rounds, and he won the NBA middleweight title. So he's a two-time middleweight champion. April 19th, Ben Jedby, who would be champion, Cleveland, Ohio, no contest, 6 rounds. July 18th, Wesley Ketchel, Los Angeles, defeated him in 10 rounds. August 25th, Harold Hawkswood, Salt Lake City, 10-round draw. September 21st, Billy Papke, KO'd him in 8 rounds, so Papke was making a comeback. (1934), January 16th, Tony Poloni, Los Angeles, defeated him in 10 rounds. February 9th, Max Maxwell, San Diego, 10-round draw. February 23rd, Dutch Weimer, San Diego, lost in 10. May 22nd, Freddie Steele, draw in 10 rounds. Freddie Steele will be champion. June 19th, Emilio Martinez, I went over him in an opponent yesterday. Denver, Colorado, lost in 10 rounds. August 21st, Oscar Rankins. I have a very good bio of Oscar Rankins. I'll go over him one day. Los Angeles, California, 10-round loss. Vacant NBA middleweight championship. 1935, September 17th, Freddie Steele, Seattle, lost in 10. And this goes on through 1936, knockouts in the draw. 1937, January 1st, Freddie Steele, Milwaukee, lost 10 rounds for the NBA middleweight title. So Freddie Steele would be champion. Battling Nelson, KO 4, April 13th, that's a different Battling Nelson. August 9th, Tommy Freeman, Cincinnati, defeated him in 10 rounds. Alabama Kid, Springfield, Ohio, lost in 10. Bob Turner, defeated him in 10 rounds. 1938. So May 10th, he fought Babe Briscoe. Babe Briscoe would be champion as well. Lost in 10 rounds. So William Gorilla Jones, middleweight champion of the world, was a 2-time middleweight champion, NBA title. Salute to William Gorilla Jones. You are officially inducted into my museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Salute to you. Let's get over to Tiger Jack Fox. Record 132. So he had 132 fights, 28 and 85 with 3 no contests. The years fought 1928, 1950. Now, word on the street, some fights were thrown for him. Jake LaMotta was a big one. They had a hearing against that one. He was supposed to lay down in a little bit more of a convincing fashion. He refused to do it. And there was a guy by the name of Ozzie Bulldog Harris from Pittsburgh. This was in Philadelphia. Kind of like the same scenario, but at least he laid down. But Tiger Jack Fox was a very, very hard puncher, knocked out a lot of men. But he just has that rap on him of some fights that were, as they call, handcuffs. Tiger Jack Fox, born April 2nd, 1907, Indianapolis, Indiana. Nationality, American Negro. Weight, 180 pounds. He stood 5 foot 11 and a half inches. He boxed as an amateur and semi-pro fight for 7 years before starting as a pro in 1932. January 12, 1932, George Dixon, KO 3. February 12th, Jimmy Carr, KO 1. May 2nd, Buck Everett, KO 1. June 2nd, Tommy Gibson, Indianapolis, KO'd 9. June 22nd, Jax Redmond, KO'd 1. July 6th, Joe Sykora, Indianapolis, 10-round victory. Now this goes on and on and on, back and forth. I'm just going to give you some notable names. October 22nd, October 17th, Maxie Rosenblum, Dayton, Ohio, lost in 10 rounds. October 27th, Johnny Mack, KO'd him in 3 rounds. November 7th, Jack Williams, KO'd him in 1 round. December 21st, Babe Hunt, he defeated him in 10 rounds, 1933. As you can see, this goes on. He lost to George Godfrey. January 31st, Indianapolis, lost in 10 rounds. February 22nd, Seal Harris, KO'd in first round. March 7, Buster Hall, KO'd him in 1 round. May 1st, Babe Hunt, 10-round victory. May 3rd, Art Lasky, very good fighter, Chicago, Illinois. He was knocked out in 5 rounds. May 21st, Al Walker, another good African-American fighter, Chicago. I have his profile as well. KO'd him in 3 rounds. And this goes on and on and on. Bill Langston fought him twice, Salt Lake City. KO'd him in 3 rounds and then in 4 rounds. December 22nd, December 28th. And these have no actual dates, but they were 1934. KO Christensen. I'm just going to scan this. Young Firpo twice, lost twice to him in 10 rounds. 1935, lost on a foul to Young Firpo. Charlie Massera defeated him in 10 rounds. That was June 4th. Red Barry KO'd him in 4 rounds. That was July 4th. September 6th, Maxie Rosenblum drew 10 rounds with him. October 11th, Maxie Rosenblum defeated him in 10 rounds. 1936, John Henry Lewis. We went over his career yesterday. He was a light heavyweight champion. He was inducted to my museum of forgotten fisticuffs January 10th. He was knocked out in 3 rounds. So 1937, January 5th, Bob Olin, he would be champion. KO'd in the 2nd round. He knocked out Bob Olin in the 2nd round. John Henry Lewis took the title away from Bob Olin. February 19th, Tex Irwin, New York City, KO'd him in 2 rounds. March 13th, Lorenzo Pack, New York City, defeated him in 10 rounds. March 20th, Jack Trammell, outstanding African-American fighter. I have his profile as well. In fact, a large pose of him in that Police Gazette African-American book. I have a couple of poses of him. April 6th, Jack Trammell again, Youngstown, Ohio. So he defeated him in 10 rounds and he knocked him out in 4 rounds. April 10th, Lou Poster, New York City, KO'd him in 6 rounds. May 1st, Phil Johnson, New York City, KO'd him in 3 rounds. Phil Johnson was the father of Harold Johnson, who Archie Moore would actually face. Ezra Charles knocked out both his father and him. Phil Johnson and Harold Johnson. May 14th, Red Bruce, New York City, defeated him in 8 rounds. May 22nd, Jersey Joe Walcott, New York City, KO'd him in 8 rounds. July 15th, Leo Dinkin Kelly, another good African-American fighter, New York City, KO'd him in 6 rounds. So this goes on. Red Bruce, Pittsburgh, KO'd him in 2. November 22nd, Al Gaynor, Pittsburgh, lost him in 15. 1938, January 7th, Mickey McVeigh, KO'd him in 1. Hank Hankerson, KO'd him in 1. Lou Baralud, KO'd him in 7. He would be champion. So this goes on and on and on and on and on. Jersey Joe Walcott, May 10th. Camden, 10-round victory. Eddie Blunt, another good African-American fighter, heavyweight, May 13th, New York City, KO'd him in 2 rounds. In fact, Eddie Blunt used to spar with Joe Louis many times. November 29th, Al Gainer, New York City, defeated him in 15 rounds. A very good victory for Tiger Fox. Clarence Brown, Chicago, no contest in 6. February 3rd, Milo Patina, he would become champion, New York City. He was knocked out by him. Tiger Warrington, another good African-American fighter, New York City, defeated him in 8 rounds. Al Gainer, 10-round draw. Dave Clark, New York City, lost in 8. Eddie Sims, the Joe Louis opponent, 10-round victory. 1940, Al Delaney, Salt Lake City. So a lot of good fighters here. J.D. Turner defeated him in 10. Bobby Zander, another good fighter, lost in 12. That was September 3rd, 1945. Leroy Evans, another good fighter, May 24th, killed him in 8. Wow. He fought a lot of good fighters. A lot of good fighters. So this is Tiger Jack Fox, light heavyweight. Salute to him. I want to enter him in the Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. So salute to these fighters, Tiger Jack Fox and William Gorilla Jones. This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Salute.